Lee Partridge, and welcome to the pre-match show here at Colchester United at the JobServe Community Stadium. Coming up in the show today, we've got an interview with Kiran O'hara. Now, you may have heard the interview on the midweek show talking about him signing for the club, but this is more about his career, him as a person, and his family, also how they've influenced his career and some of his choices. We'll also take a look back at a past game against Carlisle, of course, this afternoon's opponents. But first up, we've got an interview and get some thoughts with Wayne Brown.
Well, Wayne, first of all, you've managed to secure a goalkeeper, experienced backup for Sam Hornby, just what you were looking for.
Yeah, we've identified Kieran as somebody that's going to be a real key figure for us. Obviously, we lost Sham 10 days ago now, so we've acted reasonably quickly. We identified Kieran a couple of weeks ago, done our due diligence on it, and it's taken that long to sort of do the deal, if you like, and get it over the line. Happy to have him on board. As I say, he'll be a great addition with the experiences that he's got, the levels that he's played at, and he can only be a benefit to us.
Yeah, this isn't a youngster who's coming in who you're looking to develop and maybe push Sam in the future. He's someone who can come in and push him right now.
Yeah, my preference was to run with two number ones, just like we did for the whole of the second half of the season when we brought Sam across from Bradford. I honestly felt that Sam and Sham were two number ones, and they were fighting for the shirt. This is no different. You know, Kieran's come in as a number one with Sam. And ultimately it's whoever's performing to the best of their ability will get the shirt.
You evaluated last week, no doubt, done all your various reviews and moved on quickly and started looking at Carlisle quite quickly at the start of the week.
Yep, that's what it's about. It's about reflecting, debriefing and moving on swiftly. We have had a whole week, if you like, to prepare for Carlisle, which is good. It has given us that little bit of extra time, which is beneficial. We got some important minutes into the lads that didn't start the game at Northampton, which again was another real good exercise on Tuesday evening at Stowmarket, to try and get the lads in the best shape that they can. Obviously, Carlisle is going to be a little bit of a different animal to Northampton, as will Ipswich on Tuesday. So they're all different. They all need to be taken in isolation, and ultimately it's our job to prepare the lads the best way that we can.
So you look back and then look forward. Don't look too much back to Saturday. We talked about the positives immediately after the game. The negative, I guess, was conceding the 3 goals. But if you look at the duration of the game, you didn't actually cough up that many chances, did you?
Very much so. They have 9 shots, including the goals. So to restrict them to that amount of opportunities away from home, which is going to be a strong Northampton squad, was pleasing. So as I said to you on Saturday, I felt we nullified them for real large spells of the game, but it was disappointing on the other side of the game. Yes, we did concede 3 goals, and we probably didn't put away our 6 chances that we created. So again, we look at fine margins, and 6 against 4 shots at goal. You do tend to say that we're unlucky not to come away from the game with any points, but that's football. As I say, we brush ourselves down. The lads are in real positive spirits from the game, although it was a defeat. They knew the opportunities that we created, the stuff that we played, the way that we nullified a Northampton team, and as I said, they're in good spirits.
Do you look to be even more on the front foot because it's at home this week?
As I said, look, you've got to take every game in isolation. Yes, we are at home. Yes, we're against a different team, a different way that they go about things than what Northampton went about things. And as I said to you before, it's about us coming up with a plan of action, a blueprint for the game, and going out there and executing it to the best of our ability, just like we tried to do against Northampton. And as I said, this game will be no different.
Does that necessarily mean different personnel if you want to go about things differently? Do you expect your players to be able to adapt?
Well, the reason that we put minutes into the lads that didn't start against Northampton on Tuesday night at Stowmarket is that does give us the opportunity to try and put people into the team that where we can feel is going to be a benefit to ultimately getting 3 points, and that's what it's about.
Looking at Carlisle, obviously they had a good win on the opening day of the season, but Paul Simpson has made major changes there, hasn't he?
Yes, he's done obviously a lot of work and a lot of business in the summer. a very, very experienced, knowledgeable manager that's achieved a lot in his career. And it's great, obviously, picking your wits against somebody like that that's got a lot of respect in the game. As I said, there's been a lot of clubs, both in the league and international as well. So I'm sure that he'll be no different to us. He'll be trying to assess his personnel, his shapes, his systems, and they'll try and go about their business to ultimately win the game of football, just like we will.
You're clearly still assessing things. All managers still assessing things. How long do you think you get into the season before you know this is my best 11? This is how I want to go?
Well, what we do is we try and bring personnel into the environment that are going to have competition for the places. We've touched on the number one spot about if you're doing the business and you're at the top of your game and you're performing on a regular basis, you keep the shirt, and that's no different to any other personnel we've got in the squad. Right backs, left backs, centre halves, midfielders or strikers. You can see that we've tried to bring quality in the door. We haven't rushed into business through the summer where we feel that it's a numbers game. We've tried to add quality, and as long as we're trying to add quality, it's always going to benefit the team. What that does is people need to be at the top of their game if they're in the team. If they're not, then they get replaced. And it's not personal. It's just what we need to ultimately win games of football. And as I said, we've tried to generate business in the summer to try and add quality, to try and aid our chances of winning games of football, and that's the bottom line.
There's obviously still talk outside from supporters and within the media about new faces being slow in coming in. Do you look at what other clubs are doing?
All we can do is, and I've touched on this many times, many weeks, many interviews, all we can do is worry about us. We've got our targets. We're fishing in a real small pool with teams and clubs that are in or around us. We've got a limited budget that's left. We had 15 lads that were under contract in the summer. So the amount of business that we can do is going to be limited, and there's got to be a bit of realism to that. You know, we talk about, you know, other teams, and again, they don't concern me. But I think Stevenage just signed 13 players, but they had a load of players out of contract in the summer, so they had to. You know, we're in a position now where we're in a position which we've got to identify quality, because the monies that we've got are limited, the personnel that we can bring in regards to numbers are limited, and we've got to make sure they're right, and it's not always a quick fix. So we have to be patient. You know, there's 29 days left of a window, and we keep alluding to it, and we keep alluding to it. You know, loans won't come around from bigger clubs until another 10 days time. So as much as we want to work with our 22 players, 23, 24 players, it's not always as easy as that. You know, we have to be patient, we have to bide our time, and we have to make sure the right ones that we bring in are going to obviously add to us and bring competition for places, just like we did with Kieran. You know, Kieran's a very competent keeper, been around, played at a better level than we are at the present. He's an international, so he's got that experience as well. We identified that and we tried to get him over the line. Thankfully we did, and that'll be no different to any other position.
We spoke after the game about Tommy Smith and Emir Hughes as well. There were scans and various things in the week. What's happened there?
Yeah, again, just like I said on Saturday, Emir is going to be out for probably a couple of months. He doesn't need an operation, which is good, real positive, good news for him firstly and for us. Tommy's actually seeing a specialist today, so we'll know a lot more on Tommy after he sees the consultant today.
So there you go, Wayne. Looking forward to the first home game of the season here at Colchester against Carlisle this afternoon. You may already know all the team news, but if not, head to our socials or the website for all the up-to-date team news. Right, up next is the interview with Kiran O'hara, where he talks about his career and how his family have influenced some of his decisions throughout that period.
No doubt delighted to be here and get yourself sorted out.
Yeah, no, delighted to be here and get everything over the line. So, yeah, obviously got started today and really excited to get involved with the boys.
What sort of a summer has it been for you, when the season ended and you didn't have a club?
Yeah, no, obviously that's the life of football, you know. Contracts can come to an end, but, you know, I always like to think I'm a pretty good option. You know, I've got some really good experience for a goalkeeper of my age, and yeah, I was made up obviously when I got the call from the manager that obviously that you guys were interested. So yeah, I'm happy to be here and yeah, excited for what the future holds.
Yeah, I guess this is the thing, isn't it? You're not someone who's just come fresh out of under 21s, under 23s football, who's got no sort of experience. You've been at a few clubs, you've played football league, and that no doubt helps you.
Yeah, no, like I say, I've got some good football league experience, obviously across leagues 1 and 2. So yeah, that obviously that helps me, you know, in terms of the job in hand here. So yeah, I like to think I was a good option to bring in and to kind of like, you know, help the team.
And speaking to the head coach and the coaching staff here, they like to have what they say 2 number 1. So you're very much in the frame. If you perform and things happen elsewhere, you get the shirt.
Yeah, of course. Like you say, competition is a healthy thing, especially in a football team. You know, it's good to have quality players covering every position. So yeah, it breeds a good culture in the team, and you know, whoever's performing, you know, plays on a Saturday.
So tell us about your career so far. I mentioned you've got that football league experience, dotting around a few clubs.
Yeah, of course. Obviously, on loans in my early 20s. Obviously at Macclesfield and Burton. Probably. Obviously, then leaving United and signing permanently for Burton Albion. So you know, gained some really good experience with Burton in League 1, Macclesfield obviously in League 2. But yeah, some great games and you know, it's definitely helped me develop as a goalkeeper and helped me to push on. And obviously looking now to gain more experience and push on even further.
And as you say, the time at United, and everyone knows who you're talking about, that must have been quite a time for you, and a really good learning period as well.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Obviously, I've really enjoyed my time at United, and they're fantastic with me. You know, developed me from a young goalkeeper, obviously into you know, competing obviously in the football league. So yeah, really grateful of my time there. Obviously, really enjoyed it, and yeah, like I say, they helped me become, you know, what the goalkeeper I am today.
Being at a club like that, can you see a way through?
Yeah, I mean, of course, there's always a pathway. It's difficult the higher up the football pyramid you get, and obviously one of the biggest clubs in the world. So the pathway is you know, it's going to be the hardest in probably in world football. So you know, you're realistic and gain the experiences you can and soak everything up. And like I did, obviously go out and got my experience in the football league, which really helped me to develop myself.
Are they your team?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, family are all Reds. So growing up, obviously, as a Manchester lad, it was an honour to obviously play there, and like I say, yeah. So convenient, I guess.
And internationally as well, looking to develop yourself.
Yeah, of course. I've had some international experience as well. Been in and around a few squads, and obviously got a couple of caps at international level. Hoping to, you know, start playing regularly again and put myself in that picture, hopefully.
And what have you made of the goalkeeping coach here, Darren? Because he's a bit of a character, isn't he?
Yeah, no, really enjoyed it. I spoke to Darren quite a bit over the summer actually, and yeah, kind of got a feel of his personality. But yeah, obviously first session this morning, really enjoyed working with him, and you know, excited to working with him going forward.
Just finally, I mean, people see you as, you know, you're going to be competing with Sam Hornby and Ted Collins for a shirt here, but is it more sort of working as a group, working as a unit?
Yeah, of course, like you say, we're all a team. We all want the same thing, and that's for us to get 3 points on a Saturday. Whoever is performing puts the team in the best position, and yeah, I'm on board with the, you know, the manager and the goalkeeper coach. You know, if I can help the team, then fantastic.
It's great to have Kieran here with us at Colchester United, and nice to hear him talk about his career and joining us here at Colchester. Right, one last thing before we leave you. Let's take a look back at the highlights from the 2-2 draw that we played against Carlisle earlier on this year. Let's hope today we can turn that 1 point into 3 points against Carlisle. Now it's nearly time to go out there and take your seats to cheer the lads on. Do check the website and the socials for all the team news. If you hadn't seen it, all the up-to-date team news is, of course, across our socials and the website. If you do want to contact us here in the studio for the show or for a matchday programme or for the big screen, if you want to mention, whatever it may be, it's media@colchesterunited.net. That's the contact details. Right, that's about it from me. I'll let you go out there, take your seats, enjoy the game, cheer the lads on, hopefully for 3 points. First home game of the season. And I'll be back with the midweek show next Wednesday. Until then, it's goodbye for now.